What's the penalty level for
Senator
domestic
Goodwin.
abuse?
Mr. Backus.
Low, basic domestic assault or fifth-degree assault against another person would be a misdemeanor. And the penalties could go up depending on whether the person's a repeat offender or there's a higher level of harm, but a basic assault is a misdemeanor.
And Mr. Chair, and Council.
Senator Goodwin, if we could, this is an author's amendment, perhaps we could,
Talk to
move
Bill.
on, and then I'll come back to you
Sure.
on this issue, if that'd be all
Thank
right.
you.
All right. I'm going to swing back at this point to Senator Goodwin, who I cut off, and I apologize.
Oh, no
You
problem.
had some questions. Please
You're
go
right.
ahead.
Yeah, I'm wanting to pursue this area just because I'm concerned, and I certainly support police dogs. And my brother-in-law was one of the first in the state to train them 35 years ago in Anoka County, and start the program. I actually helped start the program, and I'm certainly appreciative of that. But I'm concerned about uneven sentencing, and I'm wondering, that's why I'm asking the question, because I don't know what the penalties are for domestic abuse. And I heard that it was a misdemeanor. We're looking at felonies here and gross misdemeanors. And I'm wondering if there's not, like we're asking for in this bill, there's not a staged penalties for domestic abuse based on how serious the injury is, or there is?
There is.
I'm sorry, would you repeat?
I'm asking if there's a staged penalty like we're asking for in this bill on domestic abuse. Are there gross misdemeanors and felonies that are, other than murder? I'm sure that's, if it goes that far, but what are we looking at for domestic abuse cases for the
Backus, can
toughest
you-
penalty for bodily injury?
Mr. Chair, members, the domestic assault law, there's enhancements if a person is a repeat offender. It could go up to either a gross misdemeanor or a felony, or if the assault was committed with a firearm. If it's a serious assault involving like substantial bodily harm, great bodily harm, then I believe it would be charged under the regular assault laws. So we do have heightened penalties depending on, again, if the person is a repeat offender or if the level of harm rises to, say, substantial bodily harm or great bodily harm.
Senator
Okay,
Goodwin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Then what we're saying here, though, is with the first incident with a police dog, it's a more major crime than a first incident with a domestic assault. Is that correct, or am I getting that wrong?
Mr. Backus.
Mr. Chairman, Representative Goodwin, Senator Goodwin, I guess I would say a low-level assault against a public safety dog under this bill would be a misdemeanor. If there's demonstrable bodily harm, it would be a gross misdemeanor, and then substantial or above would be the felony. For example, a substantial bodily harm against a regular person would be a third-degree assault, and that would be a 5-year felony. So that would be a more severe penalty than, say, the substantial bodily harm against the animal.
Okay, thank you. That answers my question.
Senator Thompson.